This is my art. This is me living my best life. And this is Jess Paul. That simple sentence continues to get more and more poignant every week that I say it. I know what you're thinking. It's a lot. I know. You know, I haven't given introductions in a while. For all you noobs out there, there's a couple of you every single day that are joining the family. Hello, if I'm talking to you. I'm Jess Paul. I am a YouTuber of 10 years, an actor, a filmmaker, an artist. I've got this wheel, and every week we spin on a new interest of mine that we are going to talk about, do a tutorial with, just find the best time we possibly can here on this earth. I've actually thrown the wheel out the window for the next couple of weeks because it is my birthday month and I want to do whatever I want. So let's get right into the video explanation. I am a fake food artist. It's a very specific type of art. And some of you may or may not know this. Sometimes when I vend my fake food accessories or I take photo shoots with them, I have always adopted, for some reason, this 50s homemaker vibe. It's a bakery, it's super kawaii. So I'd always show up to craft fairs looking like have been all over 50s garage calendars. It's fun. I have this little dream, I'll manifest it right now, that one day, me and my fake food, it could just be my fake food, that's fine, becomes popular enough that I could sell like a whole bunch of pinup calendars that I use my fake food in order to promote it because I just think it would be fun. And one of my friends heard that dream and she sent me this listing that was basically getting a group of people together to shoot at a retro diner. Did my dream come true? It did. So basically I connected with Shutter Speed Network, which is an organization here in LA, and they basically put photographers with models and they put them in a really cool setting, and you kind of just split the cost of whatever location you're renting for like a 2-hour window and you have a good time. I had no idea what to expect when I went to this kind of thing because I don't really model. I don't. But I would model with my fake food whenever the situation arises. So this was about 2 weeks after I got home from Chicago at the very end of January, and I hustled to get some new molds made so that I could wear some of my new foam food and really use that deadline as an opportunity to just experiment and make more stuff. I went to the shooting event and it was a blast. Basically, I had a couple costume changes. I stood in a corner of a room and then there were like 5 photographers on me. I literally had never done anything like that and I was like, this is fun. This is interesting.
This is my friend Jess.
Hey guys, hey Alexis's vlog. Nice to meet you.
I love the pie hat. Show it off. Yeah, girl.
How many angles can we get?
She's the waitress and I'm just here ordering.
She's very good at ordering.
Yeah, I've been ordering for a while.
This clip was part of my friend Alexis's vlog, so if you want to see the rest of that, you can watch that after this. When I got there and I was introducing myself, I actually told everybody that besides, the whole spiel about my fake food and how cute it is, I told all the photographers that I was actually a professional retoucher, which is another thing that I am. That's my day job. I was really curious what I was going to get back because basically when you do these photo shoots, you're just buying the tickets. So you could be anything from a novice to a professional. You can literally be trying it for the first time as a photographer. So I was offering my services. We were guaranteed at least one picture back, but most of the photographers went above and beyond and delivered basically an entire album. It did turn out that almost all of the photographers did edit the pictures themselves. I was very happy that at least one photographer let me do what I love doing, my other art form. If you want to see me retouch my own form, my own photo, then subscribe, and that video is coming next week because this video would be way too long if I did all of these things in one video. But for right now, we are going to go to the computer and we're going to have a little critique sesh. I met all of these photographers obviously in real life. They were all so fantastic, and I have to say that every album I got back was incredibly skillful. I think everybody's very talented, and I only hope that this little fun comparison, educational review will both let you a little bit further into my world of what I do on a daily basis, and also what the world is showing you versus the reality that we are living in. Oh, I gotta do that way more often. That looks dope as... So at any point you see an LA photographer that you'd like to work with, their link will be below, and hire them because they're all great. They're all different. They all have very different styles, and that's what we are going to be talking about. Well, hello there. The flavor of the week is donut. So we're going to compare how somebody's photography and editing style can be so different, even in the same photo shoot, with the same subject, their own cameras, their own knowledge, their own sense of direction. I wanted to give you a little sneak peek, I guess, into the world of just what it's like to, I guess, be on a photo shoot. The world of models and photographers, like I've done it for one day. These photographers have been very generous with their art, and they were split up into folders because I had so many photos that I literally could have an album for every social platform that was relevant to this project. And you can look at all those pictures. And you can also visit the photographers themselves on their own Instagrams. Let's start at the very top. We're going to start with Barry Shoots. So Barry was actually one of the only photographers that acquiesced to my request about possibly doing my own retouches. I don't necessarily ever pick up a camera. Well, I guess I do now, like right now. But I do retouching again every single day. And I have to say that Barry had amazing photographs. These are my edits, so all of the color work, all of the contrast work that you see is mine, but his were the angles, the shots, that just lend to all of that sugary saccharose color. Saccharin? This high candied color. I really wanted to go high saturation because this was such a fun and colorful time. All the red that you saw in these pictures, it's just kind of reflecting the joyousness of the type of photo shoot it was with all this colorful food. But if there's a photographer that doesn't necessarily know what they're doing and they take photos that are really blown out, or they don't know how to use their lenses, I could have had nothing to work off of, but I was absolutely in love with all of the angles, the positions that he was able to capture. This is like my favorite picture of myself. Like, I'm kind of falling in love with myself. But it was just such a great photo. That's the point I was trying to make. Our next photographer is P. Garrett Photography. Okay, these were another one of my favorite albums. We have some beautifully balanced shots here. This was one of the first pictures that I posted on the net when I was kind of leaking the pictures out one by one. Looks like a little lens distortion, unfortunately. I think, or else my head just looks like that all the time. I was so impressed by all of the beautiful balance of color, the great composition. Pat was actually one of the only photographers that I felt kind of directed me during the shoot because he was kind of a veteran photographer. He knew how to like work with models, and I just was in love how this photo shoot came out. And then we got to this one, and I'm like, I don't think my waist looks like that in real life. So I was looking here at the side, and you can actually see a little bit of distortion. And so I did ask Pat, I'm like, hey Pat, can I have the original of this photo? And we talked about why. I'm in a place now, I think in my life, and I think the world's coming to this place where, as much as I am an actual like retoucher, and I believe it is an art form to this day, I think that the world is a little bit more expectant that we're moving towards a place where we see the real people. I'm now in that mindset where when I am retouching anybody's photo, even my own, I never change my body. Because as self-conscious as I could be, I could make someone else even more self-conscious if I look unrealistically different. So I got the photo back and I looked at the before and after, and I was like, man, I look dope in the before. Why did it really even have to be changed? That's just me. I love Pat's pictures, really just polished and perfect. Devonlian Photography brought a really different flavor to the mix. They have filters over them, they have vignettes to kind of make it look a little bit like we're actually back in that time period. I appreciate that. At the same time, I would have probably not put those kinds of filters on just because I feel like I see it a lot. It's kind of overused. My favorite one was this one. I'm not exactly sure what filter that is. It makes all the colors kind of flatten and it actually looks like a vintage ad. So this is one of the only ones that I was like, wow, like this actually kind of looks like it could have been taken in the time period that it was. And I thought it was a good addition. William Blaine gave me back one image. This one was a great shot. If I were doing the editing on this, I would have made my face a lot less yellow. That was the one thing that was very distracting. I was like, wow, I look like I have jaundice, which I could have in the actual photo shoot. Even when you saturate the picture in post, you want to make sure that skin colors stay mostly tame so the people don't look too alien. Not John Travis had some amazing shots. This is, I think, one of my favorites because there's a lot of depth in the color and it just looks so dynamic with a lot of energy. Stephanie Dill Photography gave me a couple as well, basically one full color and then one black and white of that. This was one of the most romantic shots. It's so sweet and it did actually show off all of my fake food that I wanted to. I have this right here. I do not sell this. I was thinking about selling it for a little while, this kind of product in my store, but it's actual glass and it's very heavy. But what you would do with it, I wanted a fake milkshake, but I realized that it takes up a lot of room, like on your counter when they don't have any purpose. So I made a painted glass. You could take the lid off and put your coins in there. But now everybody knows where I keep my coins. It didn't have any coins in it at the time. Peter Dang Photography handed out a dang load of photos. Wow, he gave me 32 photos back. That is a lot, and I'm very grateful. It looks like the way that Peter did it is he put an entire actionable filter all over the whole thing, all of the photos at the same time. I would have gone in there and individually kind of balanced the lighting in each photo so that they didn't get as blown out as some of these did. There's a lot of white and not as much color. Now, I really loved every single one of the photographer's photos, but one that really stood out to me above all the rest was Aaron Johnson, Air Cover Lax. These were both amazingly shot, incredibly shallow depth of field, really well balanced in camera seemingly, and like just amazing setups and edits as well. Everything about them blew me away. I don't even really know how he does this. I might want to pick his brain someday. I'll bother him. It's like, hey Aaron, how do you make these look so good? I love it. If you would like to see the entire albums of these photographers, go to my social media links below. Like and follow the stuff while you're there. It's like not a big extra step. And then go check out the individual photographers. They were all wonderful, and I'm very grateful to have these pictures from all of them. I hope you found that interesting. If you want to subscribe to see me photoshopping myself, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to check out these cool fake food accessories, then you can go to my Etsy store and you can have some yourself. Like stuff that you saw in here, you can have it. Actually, this video is supposed to be kind of an announcement for my fake food, but I'm releasing it in a time where I've already sold out of a couple pieces already, which is pretty exciting. But if you were ever interested in checking out some of my stuff, I am now having a sale. It's 20% off because of my birthday. Until March 21st, you can get 20% off on anything in my store. Don't buy it if you don't really want it. Like, I don't want any charity. But if you were ever interested in such, they are there on the internet for you to buy. We'll do other things on here in the future, and you'll know that if you are also subscribed. This is my outro.
This is mine.